it's just like getting redder and redder. That's crazy. What's up, guys? Me again. And I just wanted to make a video about synchronicities and connections. I'm going to try to make this a really quick video because it just came to me and I'm in my flow state, so here we go. This is Will, Capricorn Sun, Moon, Scorpio Moon, Pisces Rising, and I talked a lot of, I mentioned a lot of, in a lot of my videos how everything is connected, about synchronicities, about flow states and being in the now and shit like that. And I'm noticing a lot of people are kind of almost saying the same things, just like, and bear with me because this is going to get a bit roller coaster ride-ish. Like, I'm a Pisces rising, so this is going to be a lot of things. It's going to be however you take it. I've been studying astrology, I would say, for at least 5 years. In this last year, I also have been studying MBTI personality types, and for at least like the last maybe 3 or 4 years, I've been studying numerology. So I've kind of started coming to this conclusion that just like how every different religion, even though they may hate each other or have what they may think are different beliefs, they all worship the same energy, the same deity, the same presence or being, and their tenets are usually, for the most part, all the same, unless they're like just one of those other types of religions. But even with like this whole know thyself era that we're in, and how everyone is looking up and researching it and analyzing and doing tests on themselves to figure out exactly who they are, how they think, and what they're supposed to do and shit like that. So on an astrology level, there are always three what most people would say are your most important placements, and those are your sun, moon, and rising. When you have all three, or when you mention all three together, like the power of three, they're called luminaries, because they're the brightest things and the closest things to you at the time that you were born. So those are the energies that are going to be almost most prominent in your being, in your physical and your conscious self. Whereas in numerology, instead of analyzing the stars above us and energies and zodiac signs and constellations, numerology focuses more on numbers. I think that is kind of almost self-explanatory, but instead there's a thing called sacred geometry that's more astrology and astronomy. There's also a thing called sacred numbers and sacred numerology, and it's basically like the math of the universe. It's like we have kind of almost like scratching the surface on a 6-foot concrete floor over 3 doors of a door that's gonna open up to all of this stuff. We're almost there. We're like a foot and a half in right now. But every number has a sacred meaning. Every number has a vibration, just like everything else in this universe. And numerology adds up those things, like your birthday, the letters in your name, the day you were born, the month, the year you were born, all of that, and it deduces these numbers and reduces these things and comes up and gives you this information almost in a similar way to astrology. So just bear with me, because like I said, it's a roller coaster. It probably doesn't make sense just yet. In numerology, there are also 3 main placements, or 3 main numbers, and there are also even in your birthday, and I think your birthday in numerology is what I'm going to focus on, because that's where your placements are. If you look at the first number, well, in America, I'll say this, in the US, most of us write the date, month, day, year. And so we say this, our main placements in the same way. We say our sun, our moon, and our rising, and that's what they all correlate to. So in astrology, the sun is where the sun was on the day that you were born. However, the sun moves through a zodiac sign only 12 times in our type of year. And it takes a whole month, according to the calendars and the time system that we have now. It takes a whole month for the sun to move from one sign to another, so that would more so correlate with the month. So I'm a Capricorn. The Capricorn month is January, more so. And it's the 10th sign of the zodiac, which resonates with the number 1. It's 10 times the number 1. And January in the Gregorian calendar system in the US, I have to also say again, January is the first month of the year. Whereas 10 kind of almost symbolizes completion, the resolution of all the things that you've had to go through, and the mastering of all of those concepts until you can say you've leveled up, basically. And January kind of represents that month, that 1 represents the start of a new year, the beginning of something entirely new and different in and of itself. And yeah, so numerology, month. Astrology, sun. Then you have your birthday number, and that correlates, at least in my mind, to the moon in astrology, your own personal moon. And here's why. The moon moves a lot faster orbiting and revolving around our planet than we do revolving around the sun. The moon, because it moves so quickly, seems to, at least from our perspective, from the beams of energy projecting from our eyes that bounce back so that we can see shit, it seems as though the moon goes through each of the 12 zodiac signs just about every 2.5 days. So yeah, I said it wrong in the last video. I'll go and fix that, or just, yeah, but whatever. So every 2.5 days, the moon is somewhere else. So depending on the exact day, you have an idea of where, if you know your birthday number, even without looking up a map or trying to calculate anything, if you can look up and find out where the moon was in that period of time, you could almost pretty much accurately guess somebody's moon sign. And then you have your rising sign, and that's a little trickier. The rising sign is the sign, it's basically an alignment, because it's in an invisible space. Ooh, she about to run over the basketball, and ain't nobody gonna get it. He tried to stop, oh well. It's gonna pop. Oh, I don't think he'll get out of it, so okay. But the rising sign is an alignment, okay? And I kind of almost have to illustrate this point, and I wish I had paper and crayons and some type of thing. I don't know, markers or something. But say this is you. You're here on Earth, and this is where you are being born right now. The sun is somewhere. That really doesn't matter right now. It could be anywhere. The sun is somewhere. But you're here, and wherever this is pointing right here. There's a constellation in space where we are somewhere floating through the cosmos on our planet. There's a constellation right here. And whatever constellation is touching the point on the earth where you can see out to, whatever constellation that is, that's your rising sign. Now, that's astrology. From a numerology standpoint, you've already determined your sun by the month of the year. You've already got some type of idea of the moon sign by the day of the year. And now for the actual year, that in the most simplest terms, the earth spins at a constant rate pretty much. And so it's going to take a certain amount of time, and I don't know that amount of time right now, but it's going to take an amount of time, and in our time measurement standpoint, it's going to be specific, it's going to be measurable, and it's going to be predictable. So knowing those things, if the earth is spinning this way and the constellations are going this way, you can kind of calculate almost which direction the earth was at, and where you were on that earth in that point in time, and which constellation which hemisphere was facing that constellation at what time, and what constellation was that. And it doesn't matter which hemisphere it was, but which part of the earth was facing that constellation at that specific year. So yeah, I just seen a 222 in the time. That means I'm on the right track. Positivity, peace, and blessings. And I think that also means it was a time for me to end this video. I see the 3-3. That was a good idea. At this point, I just want to say to you guys, Namaste, I see you. Continue to stay woke. Continue to transform, metamorphosize, get better, bigger, stronger, and we're all gonna make it. And 55 change topics. Have a great day wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and see you in the next one. Stay tuned for more content. Love you guys.